One more street before the station. One more minute by the door. One more laugh before the silence. One more reason to want more. You were looking at me gently, like you knew what I would say, like the heart can ask for mercy when the world has turned away. I never wanted all your seasons, I was not that brave or young. I just wanted one more evening before the song was done. A little more of you, a little less goodbye, a little more of your warm hand before the night went wide. A little more of you, that's what I was made of then. The kind of love that knows it's ending and still asks again. Now I meet your name in passing, in old places, in old clothes, in the scent of something fading, in the shape the evening holds. There are people who move on cleanly. There are hearts that close on cue. Mine still leaves one chair half empty for a little more of you. If I dream you back tonight, don't wake me too soon. Let me stay inside the mercy of that unfinished room. A little more of you, would have been enough to keep the winter from the window, to keep the nights more soft. A little more of you still moves me through. Some loves are measured not by years, but by how long we ask for you. A little more of you, that's all I asked the night. For me and you, we chase the light through shimmer and through snow. I can't believe you turned away, but the trace is in the way it glows. streets on end. I felt the haze disguising every tear. I hoped the dawn would fade in peace, but I know that I still need you. You say I'm dreaming 'cause you don't think I feel what you've done. But when you whisper softly, I know I'm not the only one. You've been so unreachable. Now gently I know why. Your soul is untouchable, even though skies know you held You say I'm dreaming 'cause you don't think I feel what you've done. I have missed you through the years. Maybe time was not enough. You've made me face my quiet fear by fading and breaking our trust. You say I'm dreaming 'cause you don't think I feel what you've done, but I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. Voice at the door. I heard in my sleep, not loud, not urgent, just yours and deep. I dreamed the hallway light was on. I dreamed the hour was 4. I dreamed your hand was on the frame, and your voice was at the door. Not to beg and not to hurt me, not to turn the years around, only just to say my name in that old familiar sound. once more. A voice at the door, I still reach toward. Even when the dream dissolves, I hear it in the floor. Morning came and with its silence, ordinary, pale and kind, but the echo of your speaking stayed like weather in my mind. All day long I heard your cadence in the kettle, in the stair, and I walked as if the world had made more room for air. If someday you truly call, will I know the sound is real? Or spend a breath inside that dream, waiting there to feel a voice at the door I cannot ignore. Not because it asked me back, but because it held me warm. A voice at the door still moves me through. Some dreams are only sound and light, but some are made of you. A voice at the door I heard in my sleep. After the song fades, what remains is true. Not the applause, not the echo, only what I felt with you. The room is still, the mic is sleeping. The final chord has let go. Chairs and glasses, lights and curtains wear a softer kind of glow. This is where the heart remembers what the body can explain. How a voice can hold a lifetime, then dissolve into the rain. Every ending has a silence, every silence has a face. And tonight I meet your memory in that tender place. After the song fades, you're still around in the hush above the stage lights, in the after sound. After the song fades, I can finally see what was love and what was longing, and what still lives in me. I have sung through many winters, I have stood in many rooms, but there is one low hidden feeling that still colors every tune. Maybe that is not a weakness, maybe that is how I know that the deepest human music comes from what we cannot hold. If I sing again tomorrow, I will bring this truth along, that the part of applause, not the echo. Only what I learned from you. Almost still in love, that's the truest way. I can say what lingers in me after all this time and space. Not enough to call you midnight, not enough to call you home, but enough to stop me breathing when your old song comes on. Enough to notice strangers who laugh a little like you do. Enough to stand in grocery aisles and miss what once was true. Love does not always disappear. It changes shape and speed. Sometimes it becomes a quiet thing you hardly know you need. Almost still in love, almost over to, almost healed, almost ready, almost done with blue. Almost still in love, in the gentlest way, like a candle burned down low, but warm enough to stay. I can smile when people ask me. I can sleep most nights just fine. I can fold your memory smaller and still keep it near mine. There are no dramatic endings left for me to relive now. Just a low and faithful softness I have never learned to doubt. If I saw you in a doorway, I might only nod and pass. Still I know my heart would tremble like it used to in the past. Almost still in love, maybe that's enough. Not to ruin what I'm building, but to prove I once was open. Almost still in love, not the ache I knew, just a tender kind of afterglow, still colored by you. Almost still in love, that's the truest way. Almost still in love, that's the truest way. I can say what lingers in me after all this time and space. Not enough to call you midnight, not enough to call you home, but but enough to stop me breathing when your old song comes on. Enough to notice strangers who laugh a little like you do. Enough to stand in grocery aisles and miss what once was true. Love does not always disappear. It changes shape and speed. Sometimes it becomes a quiet thing you hardly know you need. Almost still in love, almost over too. Almost healed, almost ready, almost done with blue. Almost still in love, in the gentlest way. Like a candle burned down low, but warm enough to stay. I can smile when people ask me. I can sleep most nights just fine. I can fold your memory smaller and still keep it near mine. There are no dramatic endings left for me to relive now. Just a low and faithful softness I have never learned to doubt. If I saw you in a doorway, I might only nod and pass. Still I know my heart would tremble like it used to in the past. Almost still in love, maybe that's enough. Not to ruin what I'm building, but to prove I once was open. Almost still in love, not the ache I knew, just a tender kind of afterglow. Still colored by you. Almost still in love, that's the truest way. Almost still in love, that's the truest way. I can say what lingers in me after all this time and space. Not enough to call you midnight, not enough to call you home, but enough to stop me breathing when your old song comes on. Enough to know. There was autumn in your voice, gold and fading light. Even when you whispered softly, it sounded like goodbye. Leaves were caught along the pavement. Your coat brushed my hand. You were speaking of tomorrow like it lived in someone else's plans. There are seasons in a sentence, there are winters in a sigh. And the way you said my name that night already changed the sky. I held on to every vowel like it might not disappear, but some endings start as music before they become clear. There was autumn in your voice, amber thin and slow, like the trees already knew what I did not want to between the evening news and the start of rain. Every year when colors darken and the daylight leaves too soon, I go back to that October air and the shape of your last tune. If I hear you once more calling, would I answer as before? Or would I let the season have you and close the door? There was autumn in your voice, still it lingers on, in the trees, the glass, the colder streets, long after you've gone. There was autumn in your voice, now it lives in me. Every tender thing that learns to fade learns your melody. There was autumn in your voice, golden fading light. Before dawn calls, before the birds begin, stay with me in this half-light where the night is thin. The city hasn't found its voice, the sky is still undone. There is one blue line above the roofs, not yet morning, not yet gone. This is when I miss you most, not in day, not fully night, but in this hour with no defenses and no reason left to fight. Everything is almost waking, everything is almost true, and my almost keeps becoming a road that leads to you. Before dawn calls, hold me in your blue, in this fragile hour between worlds, I still belong to you. Before dawn calls, let the silence fall like a veil across my shoulders till I can bear it all. I can hear the heater whisper, I can hear the fridge reply, tiny sounds that make the dark feel less like absence, more like life. Still your memory comes walking softly through the paling room, like a promise made in shadow, still unwilling to leave too soon. When the morning finally finds me, will it wash your trace away? Or will love remain as pale light at the start of day? Before dawn calls, I will stay with you in the half-made sky, the colder air, the ache I never just begin. Beneath the quiet sky, I let the day go dim. The world is large and breathless, and I am small within. The rooftops fade to charcoal, the birds have all gone home, and every distant window looks like a tiny poem. I used to stand here with you, counting stars too faint to see. Now the sky keeps all our questions in its endless sympathy. There are nights that feel like water, there are nights that feel like truth, and tonight the quiet opens like a door to you. Beneath the quiet sky, I remember who I was, when your hand could slow the dark, when your voice could soften us. Beneath the quiet sky, love becomes so clear, not because it came back to me, but because it still is here. I have learned to live with distance, like a second skin of blue. Still the heavens keep reflecting every tender thing I knew. And the stars don't heal the longing, but they hold it in their way, making room for all the fragile things I carry through the day. If your eyes look up tonight at the same forgiving view, then perhaps the sky is not so wide between me and you. Beneath the quiet sky, I can breathe you through. In the stillness, in the darkening air, in the silver truth. Beneath the quiet sky, I finally understood. Some loves don't need to stay on earth to still remain as good. Beneath the quiet sky, I let the day go dim. Between breath and song, there is where you stay. Not fully word, not fully silence, but somewhere in between. Every singer knows a place right before the note appears, where the chest is full of trembling, where the heart is close to tears. That is where I always find you, not in memory's brightest frame, but in that suspended moment before I dare to say your name. Love can live in hesitation, in the air just before truth, in the softness of a hell note Between breath and song, I still belong to the hush that shaped your shadow, to the ache that moves along. Between breath and song, you are not gone. You are every trembling second right before the voice comes on. When I stand beneath the spotlight or alone inside my room, I can feel your old reflection moving through the quiet tune. Not to break me, not to haunt me, just to color what I sing. Like the deepest part of music has your fingerprint in it. If I ever lose your memory, I will find it in a chord, in the breath before confession, in the ache before the word. Between breath and song, you keep me true. Not every love is built to stay. Some teach the voice what to do. Between breath and song, I carry you on, in the place where feeling turns to sound. You live on. Between breath and song, there is where you stay. Between breath and song. Candlelight on the piano, dust and golden flame. Every note begins in silence and ends inside your name. The room is dressed in amber, the windows wear the night, and the keys beneath my fingers still remember how to cry. You once leaned here in the doorway, listening with your eyes, like the song was not a song at all, but the place where we could hide. I play the chords more slowly now, as if delay could heal, as if the softest broken things are also the most real. Candlelight on the piano, flicker, don't be still. I need one moving little light to say you loved me still. Candlelight on the piano, dance across the room till the shadows start to sing. versions of my old life, still waiting for your step. If music keeps a doorway, then maybe grief does too. And maybe every trembling note is finding its way to you. If I leave the final chord hanging, will your memory answer back? Will the flame lean toward the music? Will the dark come off its track? Candlelight on the piano, stay till morning blue. Every note I cannot carry leaves itself with you. Candlelight on the piano, small and trembling, true. You are gone, but somehow love still glows in what I do. Candlelight on the piano, dust and golden flame. Empty cup, full moon. That's the kind of night this is. Nothing left to drink but memory. Nothing left to miss but this. The tea is cold, the chair is still. The window frames a silver hill of cloud and light above the town. While all the little sounds die down, I hold the handle of the cup, like it might still hold enough to warm the place inside my hands, where your absence softly lands. Funny how the moon looks fuller when the room has less of you. How the emptiest little objects reflect the deepest blue. Empty cup, full moon, both are looking through. One is missing all its warmth, and one is filled with you. Empty cup, full moon, stay with me till June, till the cold and silver loneliness finds another tune. empty cup, full moon. That's the kind of night this is. Folded letters in a drawer, say what I don't anymore. Paper keeps what lips forget. Ink remembers better yet. I found one in winter linen, one beneath the old receipts. Your handwriting leaned like moonlight down the margins, soft and weak. You were telling me about nothing, rain, the train, a sleepy town. Still the way you shaped each sentence made my whole world settle down. Funny how the smallest pages can outlive the loudest years. How a line once read in laughter comes back shining through the tears. Folded letters, folded time, pressed between the days. Every crease another heartbeat, every word another place. Folded letters, quiet fire, I still trace them through, just to feel the warmth of who I was when I was loved by you. Now the drawer sticks when I open it. Dust has learned to stay, but the paper still goes tender in the same familiar way. There are things I should have answered. There are pages left unread. There are little unfinished versions of the life inside my head. If I wrote you now, would language know the road back to your door? Or has love become a grammar we don't speak anymore? Folded letters, folded light, keep your weather blue. Keep the scent of old apartments and the shape of me and you. Folded letters, stay with me till the night is through. Some hearts stop saying certain words, but paper never do. Folded letters in a drawer, say what I don't anymore. Hearts in low light look more honest somehow. When the room is dim enough, we stop pretending now. Golden lamps above the table, shadows soft along your jaw. Every glance becomes a language. Every pause becomes a flaw. were sitting close to midnight, talking low of simpler things. Still the air around us silence, pulled at all the hidden strings. Some truths only dare to breathe when the bright world steps aside, when the low light says it's safe to let the ache arrive. Hearts in low light tell the deeper truth, not the polished daytime version, but the midnight blue. Hearts in low light know what love can hide, how a smile can hold a storm and still look warm outside. Your glass caught a small reflection, mine held more than wine. We were both a little wounded, we were both a little kind. And I think of that dim corner more than all the louder days, how the softest light made room enough for all we could not say. If we met again in daylight, would we still know what was true? Or did the low light make a miracle out of me and you? Hearts in low light still return to glow. Every late and quiet evening brings that table back to me. Hearts in low light, I still keep that view of the tenderest version of myself when I was seen by you. Hearts in low light look more honest somehow. Holding the quiet like a bowl of rain, careful not to spill the feeling, careful with the pain. There are days I do not cry now, there are days I almost laugh, there are days I pass your memory like a photograph. Still at night I hold the quiet close against my chest, like it knows the shape of healing better than the rest. Noise can cover many things, but silence tells the truth. How the heart keeps learning softness after it breaks through. Holding the quiet, I begin to see not every empty space is lost. Some more room to breathe. Holding the quiet, I can carry you, not as wound and not as weight, but as something true. apartment hums in low notes. The clock keeps gentle time. I fold laundry, wash the dishes, and your memory walks by. Not to ask for anything, not to open all doors wide, only just to sit beside me on the calmer side of life. Maybe peace is not forgetting, maybe peace is letting be all the love that changed its clothing, but still lives quietly. Holding the quiet, I grow more whole by the lamp, the sink, the nighttime, by the healing of my soul. Holding the quiet, I don't have to choose between moving on and loving you. I can somehow do. Holding the quiet like a bowl of rain. Holding the quiet like a bowl of rain. Careful not to spill the feeling, careful with the pain. There are days I do not cry now. There are days I almost laugh. There are days I pass your memory like a photograph. Still at night I hold the quiet close against my chest, like it knows the shape of healing better than the rest. Noise can cover many things, but silence tells the truth. How the heart keeps learning softness after it breaks through. Holding the quiet, I begin to see not every empty space is lost. Some are room to breathe. Holding the quiet, I can carry you, not as wound and not as weight, but as something true. The apartment hums in low notes. The clock keeps gentle time. I fold laundry, wash the dishes, and your memory walks by. Not to ask for anything, not to open all doors wide, only just to sit beside me on the calmer side of life. Maybe peace is not forgetting, maybe peace is letting be all the love that changed its clothing, but still lives quietly. Holding the quiet, room look less abandoned with that little yellow sun. Not for footsteps in the hallway, not for keys against the door, just to keep the dark from acting like it knew me anymore. There are rituals of missing, there are habits made of ache, and one lamp beside the sofa is the choice I always make. Maybe love is not the waiting, maybe love is how we cope, by keeping one warm corner lit with impossible hope. I left a light on for the version of us that still lives behind the curtains in the evening dust. I left a light on for all I could not say, and every night it teaches me how memory stays. The bulb is old and slightly golden, like the years we never planned, and it throws your shadow kindly across the books and table stand. I sit quietly beside it, letting midnight habits turn. Some things do not come back to us, still we let them softly burn. If I switch it off tomorrow, will I finally be free, or lose the last small language you still speak to me? Maybe that is love, not the holding, not the asking, but the glow of what once was. I left a light on till the dark felt blue, and in that little ring of gold I sat with you. I left a light on, though I knew you wouldn't come. If you still remember, if you still remember the way the hallway shined, then somewhere in your quiet life you still remember mine. There were ordinary mornings, there were tired cups of tea, there were half-finished conversations that meant everything to me. You would smile without announcing, I would laugh before I knew how the smallest parts of living were becoming tied to you. Time can move the furniture, time can move the street, but some rooms inside the heart keep their original heat. If you still remember, tell the night for me, tell it I was once a safe and gentle place where your restless heart could breathe. If you still remember, distance on the windows and the trees, but some songs come back so clearly, like they never meant to leave. I can hear the dishes clinking in a kitchen we've outgrown, and I wonder if your memory has a room that is my own. If we met as strangers later, would your eyes look twice at me? Would your silence know my silence? Would your heart agree? If you still remember, keep it soft and true, like a page between old chapters, still holding on to blue. If you still remember, that's enough for me. Love doesn't always ask to stay. Sometimes it asks to be remembered. If you still remember the way the hallway shined. In the space between us, there was more than air. There were unsaid constellations hanging everywhere. You sat close, but not too close. I spoke low, but not enough. We were both afraid of breaking what was already made of trust. Every glance became a question. Every silence had a weight. Love was not the thing between us. It was everything we couldn't say. Some distances are measured, not in miles but in breath. In the ache before confession, in the pause before regret, in the space between us. I still hear your name, like a thread of silver static, running through the rain. In the space between us, we were almost true. And the saddest part of almost was how close I came to you. Now I pass the old station where we'd stand without goodbye, watching strangers meet and part under one unfinished sky. I have learned that quiet longing can outlive the loudest fire. It keeps burning with no witness. past have turned around? Or was love always a shadow, never meant to make a sound? In the space between us, something still remains, not enough to call it over, not enough to name. Oh, in the space between us, there is still that view, of the life we almost entered. Ooh, when I almost told you. In the space between us, there was more than air. Like snow on Sunday, you arrived so light, turning all the ordinary things into a quieter white. No one planned for such a morning. No one heard the weather change. Then the roofs and empty sidewalks wore a soft and silver name. You were standing by the kettle in my borrowed sweater sleeve, and the whole world looked forgiven in the hush we could not leave. Some loves fall without a warning, some loves stay without a sound, some loves whiten every memory long after they hit the ground. Like snow on Sunday, you came over me, slow and bright and almost holy in your still simplicity. Like snow on Sunday, even now I see how your silence made the world a gentler place to be. Now the winters move around me with their colder, thinner hands, but I still look out for softness when the gray begins to land. It is strange what stays unbroken after all that did not last, how the lightest kind of feeling can become the deepest past. If the sky opens once more in that quiet silver way, I will know that love is not gone, it just learned to fall and stay. Like snow on Sunday, you still cover me, not in sorrow, not in longing, but in tea and memory, steam against the dark, tiny cup and quiet room, trying to hold my heart. There is chamomile and moonlight, there is silence in the hall, there is one chair by the window, and your shadow on the wall. I pour slowly like it matters, like it keeps the night from breaking, like the warmth inside my hands can calm the ache of waking. Everything is softer after midnight, even sorrow wears a glow, and the things I tried to bury rise up slow. Midnight tea and memory, sit with me a while, tell me all the old familiar lies, with your tender style. Midnight tea and memory, don't be kind tonight. If I'm gonna miss you, let me miss you right. I can hear the spoon against the porcelain, like a distant train, like the sound of all the small regrets returning in the rain. We were never made of thunder, we were made of little things, quiet meals and tired laughter, and the calm a hand can bring. If the kettle starts singing again, will the past come through the steam? Will the night become a doorway back into a dream? Midnight tea and memory, stay until the blue of this room turns into morning, and the morning turns to you. Midnight tea and memory, slowly leave me be, but keep one drop of your warmth inside of me. Midnight tea and memory, steam against the dawn. Slowly into blue, that's how evening moves. That's how I fall back into thoughts of you. The city turns to watercolor at the edge of day. Cars become a stream of amber, then they fade away. I stand still beside the window with the curtains half undone, and I feel the color changing from the day into the one where memory has softer borders, where your shadow lingers through, where every gentle thing turns over slowly into blue, slowly into blue. I keep sinking through all the half-lit little hours that still belong to you. Slowly into blue. There is nothing new, only all the old emotions, wearing fresher shades of you. I have tried to keep busy, I have tried to turn away, but some loves don't leave in pieces, they just tint the whole day. And the sky knows how to do it, how to dim without a sound, how to take what's bright and certain and make beauty out of down. If I stay here till the dark is full, will the ache grow kind and true? Will it teach me how to hold this slowly into blue? Slowly into blue. Still I go to you, not in footsteps, not in letters, but in everything I lose. Slowly into blue. Night makes room for truth, and the truth is that I loved you longer than I knew. Slowly into blue. That's how evening moves. Softly we fell, no one could tell how love can happen quietly, like a slow blooming spell. Not in fireworks and thunder, not in reckless summer heat, but in coffee shared on weekdays and the tired way we'd meet. You would move a chair toward me, I would leave the light on low, and between the smallest moments something deep began to grow. No one saw the sky books are still upon the shelf, but your bookmark's gone. Now the bed is made too neatly, and the nights feel too long. There are loves that end in shouting, there are loves that turn to smoke. Ours became a quiet weather that I still wear like a coat. If I meet your eyes someday again, will the old lights start to swell? Will the silence say what words can't say? That softly we fell, softly we fell into something we could not tell would save us or undo us. Only time could know that well. Softly we fell, still beneath the shell of every calm and smiling day. There's where we fell. Softly we fell. No one could tell. Softly we fell. No one could tell how love can happen quietly, like a slow blooming spell. Not in fireworks and thunder, not in reckless summer heat, but in coffee shared on weekdays and the tired way we'd meet. You would move a chair toward me, I would leave the light on low, and between the smallest moments something deep began to grow. No one saw the sky change color, no one heard the ocean swell, but in the hush between our breathing, softly we fell. Softly we fell into something warm and pale, like moonlight on an empty room or a half-forgotten tale. Softly we fell, and I know it's still too well. Some loves never crash and burn, they simply stay where they once fell. Now the books are still upon the shelf, but your bookmark's gone. Now the bed is made too neatly, and the nights feel too long. There are loves that end in shouting, there are loves that turn to smoke. Ours became a quiet weather that I still wear like a coat. If I meet your eyes someday again, will the old lights start to swell? Will the silence say what words can't say? That softly we fell. Softly we fell into something we could not tell would save us or undo us. Only time could know that well. slow blooming spell, not in fireworks and thunder, not in reckless summer heat, but in coffee shared on weekdays and the tired way we'd meet. You would move a chair toward me, I would leave the light on low, and between the smallest moments something deep began to grow. No one saw the sky change color, no one heard the ocean. Stay in the rain with me, don't run from the sky. Let the city blur around us, let tonight pass by. Streetlights shaking in the puddles, silver falling on your sleeve. You were standing like a question. I was trying not to leave. Every taxi passed too quickly. Every neon looked so tired, and the wet night held our silence like a secret made of fire. You said nothing, I said maybe, then the thunder lost its way, and the rain became the only thing that knew what we could not say. Stay in the rain with me, just a little more. We can let the dark keep talking at the half-closed door. Stay in the rain with me till the hurt runs through. If goodbye is really waiting, let it wait with you. Your hair carried drops of midnight, your eyes carried older storms, and I thought of all the endings that still feel a little warm. There are loves that don't grow louder, there are tears that never show, only weather in the heartbeat, only ache beneath the glow. If tomorrow comes too brightly, will it wash this moment thin? Or will every rainy evening bring your shadow back again? Stay in the rain with me, one last trembling night. Let the world be made of water, let the traffic lose its light. Stay in the rain with me till the sky turns blue. Even if the rain stops falling, I will still be here with you. Stay in the rain with me, don't run from the sky. Last one word still lives with me, like a candle in a hallway where I used to be. You didn't say forever, you didn't ask me not to cry. You just touched the edge of silence with a tired, careful smile. wings made of kindness, and they cut the deepest through, because they leave no room for anger, only room enough for you. I replay it in the kitchen, I replay it in the car. One gentle final sentence can travel this far. The last one word won't let me go. It glows beneath the colder days, like embers under snow. The last one word I still have heard 100 times in sleepless nights. That one warm word. The coffee shop is still there waiting, same old chair beside the wall, same machine, same soft music, but you are not there at all. Still I hear your low voice bending, like the edge of evening rain, saying something small and human that still moves inside my veins. If I lose the sound of your laughter, I will still remember this, how your last word did not wound me. It kissed the last warm word, still follows through every hallway of my memory, every shade of blue. The last warm word, soft and blurred. I couldn't keep your hand in mine, so I kept your word. The last one word still lives with me. The room after goodbye has a different kind of air. Even the lamp looks lonelier. Even silence learns to stare. One cup left beside the sink, one coat no longer by the door, one side of the bed too smooth, one name not spoken anymore. It is strange how walls keep breathing after something leaves for good, like they know that grief is human, and they hold it like they should. I walk slower through the hallway, as if time might hear my feet, as if moving too quickly would erase what we have been. The room after goodbye still remembers you, in the pillow, in the mirror, have opened all the windows, I have changed the flowers twice. Still the air remains familiar, still your ghost is being kind. Not the kind that tries to haunt me, just the kind that doesn't leave. Like a warmth that lingers lightly in the fabric and the steam. Maybe healing is not empty, maybe it is learning how to live beside the tenderness that is missing now. The room after goodbye will one day shine anew, but tonight it is a place that still belongs to me and you. The room after goodbye, soft and full of blue. I am alone but not untouched by what love went through. The room after goodbye has a different kind of air. The warmest shade of blue is the one I learned from you. Not the cold one in the winter, but the one that holds me through. Blue in curtains after rainfall, blue in evening on the floor, blue inside an old song playing from the room across the hall. You were never made of brightness, you were deeper than a spark. You were all the softer colors that still glow inside the dark. I used to think blue meant lonely, now I know it can mean grace. How a sadness touched by love can become a gentler place. The warmest shade of blue still lives in me. In the hush before the nighttime, in the part that won't break free. The warmest shade of blue is memory made true. Not every sorrow cuts and cold, some sorrows glow like you. There are skies that feel forgiving, there are waves that feel like prayer. There are coats I still won't wear because your season lingers there. And I do not want to lose the quiet color then deny I carried you. The warmest shade of blue turns the dark to room for my heart to keep on living, for old age to softly bloom. The warmest shade of blue still returns me to the gentlest part of being hurt was learning love from you. The warmest shade of blue is the one I learned from you. Until the morning softens, stay with me night. Wrap the edges of my thinking in your slower light. This is the hour when all the questions wake before the sun. This is where the heart grows louder when the busy day is done. I lie still and hear the city breathing faint beyond the blinds, and your memory moves carefully across the darker side of mind. I don't ask for sleep yet, I don't ask to be free. Only one more gentle hour before the day touches me. Until the morning softens, hold my aching through, till the sky turns from indigo to a quieter shade of blue. Until the morning softens, let me rest in truth. I still miss you in the dark, but I survive it through. There are names I no longer whisper. There are tears I let lie still, but the old tenderness inside me has its own unbroken will. So I let the night be tender, I let the ceiling wear the moon, I let your absence become music that will end too soon. When the first bird finds its courage and the shadows thin their room, I will stand inside the softening, like a flower after gloom. Until the morning softens, I will stay with me, with the grief, the light, the breathing, and the slow recovery. Until the morning softens, love is not undone. It just learns to wear a gentler face when the dawn has come. night. We were a soft song, never meant to shout. Still I hear us playing long after we burned out. Not the kind they write for radios, not the kind that fills a room. Just a low and tender melody that bloomed in afternoons. You would hum while washing dishes, I would smile without a word. There are loves too quiet for the world, but loud enough to hurt. Maybe that is why I miss us in the little in-between, in the hush beneath the daytime, in the edges of a dream. We were a soft song, simple and true, not dramatic, not forever, but it always sounded you. We were a soft song, still my heart plays through every slow and fragile evening. I come back to me and you. Now the speakers hum in empty rooms, the records gather dust, and I wonder if the notes we made still live somewhere in us. Because sometimes when the rain begins or the lamp is turned down low, I can feel our old refrain, like a place I used to know. If I sang it one more time, would it bring your shadow through? Or would the final note just prove that soft songs fade too? We were a soft song, and that was enough to color years in muted gold, to make the silence tough. We were a soft song, still the sweetest blue. Not every love is made to last, some are made to move through you. We were a soft song, never meant to shout. When the light gets quiet, I can hear my heart in the space between the windows, where the fading colors start. You were never loud with love, never wild, never fast, just the kind of steady warmth I believed in when it passed. Coffee cooling by the sink, dust alive in evening gold. There are things I never said, now the room feels twice as cold. I still keep the door half open, like a thought I never close, like a song without an end. A room, a coat, a winter lamp, a love we left behind. It wasn't grand, just a small apartment with the radiator's tired song, a kettle that complained each evening, and nights that felt less long. You would curl into the blanket, I would read with one eye closed, and outside all the freezing weather could not reach what we had held. Funny how the warmest places can survive in memory, long after walls are painted over, long after we leave. Where we once stayed warm, I still return, in the smell of tea, the sound of rain, and the way old street lamps burn. Where we once stayed warm, love still has a form, not in hands I get to hold, but in the heat I learned. Now the years have moved the furniture of the life I call my own. Still some nights I miss the version of myself who wasn't alone. There are houses I have lived in, there are cities I outgrew, but the warmest place I ever knew was where I lived with you. If memory is a shelter, then I know why I go there. When the world gets cold and thinner, I still find your weather. Where we once stayed warm still keeps me through, in the quiet winter corners, in the old familiar blue. Where we once stayed warm, I no longer mourn. I just thank the cold for teaching me how bright we burned. Where we once stayed warm still lives in my mind. Winter blooming late was always what we were. A flower finding courage in the coldest air. Not in spring when all is easy, not in summer's fearless heat, but in years already burdened, when the heart forgets to dream. You arrived with quiet patience, like a candle near the snow, and I learned that warmth can happen even where the cold has grown. Some loves don't come in perfect timing, some bloom when no one else expects, and that's why they stay more deeply in the chest. Winter blooming late, beautiful and brave, how you opened in the frost and taught my hands to stay. Winter blooming late, you and I keep that winter lesson hidden in the thought of you. That the heart is not a calendar, that it doesn't always know when to close or when to open, or when one more bud may show. If another season finds me scared to trust what I can't see, I'll remember how you flowered in the freezing part of me. Winter blooming late, still you make me brave. Every cold and empty evening holds the shape you gave. Winter blooming late, love and quiet grace. Not every blossom comes in spring. Some come to save. Winter blooming late was always what we were. Your name in the window, fading with the dawn. Still it stays a little longer, even when you're gone. Cold glass, pale morning, a breath that turned to cloud. I traced the shape of something I was never saying loud. There were books beside the lamp, there were shoes beside the bed, little proofs of how we lived. Now they echo in my head. Love can leave without a warning, but it lingers in the air, in the habits of the sunlight, in the emptiness it wears. Your name in the window, written in the gray, like a promise made of vapor that the day can't take away. Your name in the window, soft and nearly new. Every morning that I face the light, I face a little you. I remember how you leaned there, looking down at passing cars, like the city was a story and we were somewhere in the stars. Now the street begins again, and the neighbors pull their shades, but the glass still keeps a secret of the love that once was made. If I wipe it from the silence, will it disappear at last, or become another reason why I always look back? Your name in the window, almost washed away, yet the morning keeps returning just to write it in my day. Your name in the window, shining through the blue. I may open all the curtains, but I still can't close on you. Your name in the window, fading with the dawn.